Hey guys, welcome to the Something About Yarn podcast. My name is Annie and I am a knitter, knitwear designer, and soon to be once again yarn dyer living south of Atlanta, Georgia. This podcast is about all my yarn adventures and the cool places that I like to knit. And I've got quite a bit to talk about today, so thank you for joining me. This is, if you watched the last episode, then you know, my second episode in my new office setup. So I'm still getting back into the swing of things after kind of a long break from broadcasting, a little bit too long. So please bear with me. I'm probably going to be a little awkward again today, but I will do my best not to be too weird. So last episode, I kind of caught you guys up on what I'm doing with the sort of revamp of my yarn brand, Annie Yarn. That is continuing to go smoothly. I got my big yarn order, so I've got bare yarn, almost said naked, but some people don't understand what that means. So I've got a bunch of yarn waiting to be dyed. I got my reskeiner back from a friend that I had lent it to and who didn't need it anymore. Don't worry, I didn't take it from them and like, yo, too bad for you. I've got my pots. I just need to get plastic to put down on the floor and the countertops in the kitchen so I don't, make a mess. So, but I'm actually a really tidy dyer. I don't tend to get dye anywhere but the yarn and my hands. So it shouldn't be a problem. If it was gonna be a problem, I'd have to get a tent and dye yarn outside in the heat, which I'm very grateful that I don't have to do that. But anyway, so yeah, today I will actually have, I wouldn't say it's actual knitting. It is progress toward actual knitting. So it'll make sense when I show it to you. But first, let me get some coffee because it's a little bit depressing that this is all I have to show for. But like I told you last episode, I really haven't had much knitting time because most of my time at home, especially like sitting down where I would normally be knitting, has been taken up with, working in Shopify, WordPress, the things that I use for my website and my online shop, getting those ready for Annie Yarn 2.0. So I'm typing, I'm doing all this stuff. I can't type and knit at the same time, unfortunately. If you know how to do that though, please let me know because I would love to learn. I would probably pay to take classes. First up, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on the podcast. I don't remember if I told you guys what yarn I decided to use. But I know I mentioned that I'm going to be knitting Tanya by Caitlin Hunter. It's on my Make 9 list for the year, which we are halfway through the year, and we won't talk about that right now. But anyway, it's just been so crazy. Like with all the changes going on, it's just been like I haven't had to knit, but things are settling down. I'm hoping starting to dye yarn again will be the catalyst that kind of moves me more toward knitting again. But anyway, yesterday we went to Atlanta. So I drove on the way up and then Michael drove on the way back, which gave me time to start casting on. So this is why I'm so depressed. This is all I have to show for it. I'm a little over halfway through the cast on stitches. This is Shay's Yarn, Cameo Yarns. And I absolutely love it. I'm doing a little something different with this. I am doing a 2-color Tanya because I love teal, but I don't think it loves me very much. But I wanted something nice and bright, like for spring and summer and stuff. So I'm starting the bottom with that color, and then I will be switching to this gorgeous gray that she dyed up for me. And it's gotten messy being in my fringe bag. I kind of toss it in my backpack and take it to work and with the intention of knitting, and then my break rolls around and I'm like, oh, but I could be doing this on my shop or I could be doing that for the blog, and then I pull out my laptop instead of my knitting and that's it. So maybe today I'll be able to finish casting on and start working on it. So I will be taking this with me to work. Other than that, that's all the knitting related stuff that I have to show for you or show to you. So last episode I included the aquarium footage, And on my Instagram, I know I had mentioned that for that same birthday trip, Michael took me by a yarn store in Atlanta, not far from where the aquarium was. It's called The Craftivist, and it is the cutest shop. I just like, oh my gosh, if it wasn't so far, I would probably go up there for their their knitting time in the afternoons or like knit night or something, you know, like whatever they do. They're always talking about on Instagram that I'm always like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go. And then I just keep scrolling because it's depressing that I live so far away from such a cool shop, you know. But anyway, so yeah, I treated myself to a little pack of stitch markers, which I don't know where they ended up in the move. I think they're in my knitting drawer, but I'm not 100% sure. They better be, because I want them. One of them is like a little umbrella and then some little teardrop shapes to go with it. But what I do have here is the yarn that I got. So I did treat myself to a couple of skeins of yarn. Hopefully that's not totally like overexposed by the camera. But they are Madeline Tosh. I hadn't really gotten Madeline Tosh in a while just because I wanted to knit with more indie dyers. And, you know, rather than the really big companies, just because that's how I am, being an indie dyer myself. But I could not resist. I love, this is Harvest and Silver Fox together. The colors just spoke to me, and I was like, I really want to get these. And at that point, I did not see that Annie yarn was going to be anywhere near my future. Again, here we are. But I decided just to go ahead and get them because I actually have similar colorways to this. My colorway in this tone is Wheatberry, and then my colorway in this tone is Woodsmoke. And I have actually been obsessed with these two colors together for the last few months. So actually no, more than that, because I got these in March, but whatever. So anyway, it was the perfect, like I didn't even know about these colorways from them. I haven't kept up with Tosh in so long. Not since I started dyeing yarn and, you know, got more into the indie scene, but I still really like their yarn. And so this is Tosh DK. I think I'm gonna design something like a cowl or a kerchief or something like that with a two-tone and kind of play with that. But so yeah, I am really excited to let those talk to me and tell me what they want to be, and hopefully get to that soon. I need to start knitting. And then I need to get back to my design works because I have several things in the works. I have a shawl that I talked about on one of the previous podcasts in Shay's yarn that I need to get done so that I can get it tested and release to showcase her gorgeous colorways for this fall. And then I have several other things. I have the Prim Cardi that I'm working on in her yarn, and oh my gosh. So that was my stash enhancement from the Craftivist in Atlanta. I will include a link to their shop in my description so you can check it out, and if you're in the area you can see their hours and hopefully drop by and enjoy it for yourself. I guess let's go ahead and start into stitches. Where to start? And yes, the reason I'm staring like down is because what you don't see is that under the phone out of shot is my desk covered in yarn. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Shay's yarn that I picked up at her booth while I was there. Oh my goodness, both of these colors, like these skeins just make me, like my eyes just go, oh my gosh. So, yep, I had to have this. Absolutely gorgeous, like all the colors just, oh my goodness. So this colorway is Do You Even Yule? And it's just like, let me take the ball band off because you're missing the gorgeous like speckles right there underneath. Hopefully this is focusing and the color isn't totally overexposed. But yeah, it's just, I had to. This had to come home with me. It's too gorgeous. I don't even know what that's gonna become because it's like there are like so many different ideas floating through my head on what it could be. So when the time is right, the idea will, and I'll know. And then this gorgeous skein right here. Oh my goodness, this color. This is my second time getting some of this color. So basically what happened was when I got to stitches, we set up We were ready pretty much on time, I think. Hung out in the booth, and then I went on a crazy spree because I got it into my head like earlier that week, or maybe even as I was driving up to Atlanta. I really don't remember. It was just all of a sudden, it was just, oh my goodness. And I decided that I wanted to put together a Soldotna crop kit while it stitches. 4 colorways. That sounds like fun. But because I wanted to commemorate the trip to Stitches and how much fun it was and like how special it was being at Stitches again after 4 years, I think, is when the last time I went, when they had it in Nashville. So that was Stitches South in Nashville in 2015. Yeah, that was the last Stitches I was at because they stopped having it down this way. And, you know, I couldn't necessarily travel for it. But yeah, so Stitches United 2019 in Atlanta. Very exciting. I want to commemorate it. So 4 colorways, 4 separate dyers. How about that? It's like, okay, well, here's my list of booths that I want to go by. And I was like, okay, you know, I want to meet the people, blah, 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 blah. And then I get it in my head to go ahead and try to put together my Soldotna crop. Now, the market preview that I went to was it 5 to 8, I think, or something like that? So by the time I got around to actually going around to the booths, it was about 7:15, and the market closed, preview closed at 8. So I literally threw together, I was running across the market floor. People were looking at me and just kind of laughing. At one point I couldn't find one of the booths because I was in such a hurry, so I stopped and asked another booth where that booth was, and I felt really awkward because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy any yarn from you, but can you please tell me where this other person is? You know, only me, right? But it was fine. They were wonderful, and they just laughed at me, and I guess I added some color to their evening. But anyway, long story short, I got my Soldotna crop kit put together in about 30-45 minutes tops, and I met some really cool people, and I took some really fun selfies that I will be sharing on my Instagram. And for now, let me go ahead and show you the 4 colorways that I chose. I don't think anybody who's been following me for any length of time will be at all surprised at the ones that I chose. So here goes. Okay, I think I've got it. So this right here is going to be, hopefully that's in focus. I think it's in the picture. This is going to be my Soldotna crop by Caitlin Hunter. Let me put one of these down. I got 2 of the main color so that I would have plenty, because it looked like the yardage for the size I want to do required it. So let me hold these up a little bit closer. So yeah, these are the 4 colors that I chose, and I'm gonna go through them all. So I started with, I knew I wanted a gray, so I went ahead and started with this one. Hopefully it's, so yeah, this is by Big Sky Yarn Company. This is it's made in Montana. Gorgeous, soft, beautiful, and I love the gray, like, oh my gosh. So this is called Slate. It's their Squish DK base, 100% superwash, 231 yards per 100 grams. And yes, the perfect like base color. Now from there, I wasn't sure what colorways I wanted to go with to build on top of that, so I just kind of winged it. But while I was there, I got to meet them and talk to them, take a selfie. It was awesome. And then I also asked, because that's just how I am as a podcaster, I asked if they would be willing to either give me a discount on a skein or give me a free skein, you know, whatever they were up to, I was willing to pay for it, to do for a giveaway here on the podcast. And they so kindly gave me a skein. Now, I also got skeins from, or goodies from other dyers as well. I'll cover all of that toward the end of the episode. Okay, so that was Big Sky Yarn Company. The next color way that I went with was this gorgeous piece right here. And this is by Bumblebee Acres Farm. I think I said that right. Yep, Fiber Farm, I'm sorry. This is Squishy DK. It's 75% merino, 25% nylon, and it is 246 yards per 100 grams. And this is their Peach Blossom colorway. And then next, I've got the dark gray / like black. This is Destination Yarns. Hopefully that'll focus there for you. This is Souvenir, which is DK weight, 231 yards per 100 grams, 100% superwash merino wool, and this is their Noir colorway, which is rich and deep and just gorgeous. And then last but not least, the green colorway, whatever, the green. This is done by Forbidden Fiber Company, which I've been following. I've actually been following all of these dyers on Instagram for some months. So that's why they were on my list for stitches. But this is Salted Lime on Fortitude DK, again, 231 yards, 100 grams, 100% superwash merino. So I basically, once I got this from Big Sky, I went to each other dyer and was like, do you have a base like this? And they matched me up with the closest one. So all of them except for Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm is 100% superwash. So this one is the only one that's a little bit different, has a little nylon in it, but I think it'll be okay. So, but yeah, that is it. So I'm gonna show you guys these again because I am so proud of my selection. I also got some other little splurge purchases, which I will show in a moment. I tried to get like 2 things from each booth so that I could stay in my budget, but also, you know, support them as well. So, but yeah, it was just like, it was so much fun. And they were all like laughing at me, like, why are you doing this so last minute? You had several hours and here I am, just like, it's whatever. But, and then one time I was like, oh, let's get a selfie. And they were like, what, me? And I was like, yes, you. So that was a lot of fun and just really spontaneous. My energy was through the roof because I was so thrilled to be there and it was a lot of fun. And I was just bouncing from booth to booth, being a total weirdo as I normally am on caffeine. Yeah, it was fun. So anyway, let me grab, let's see, we'll go through these kind of in order. So at Big Sky, I got the 2 skeins, so that was my 2 things. At Bumblebee Acres Farm, I got this, and then I could not help leaving with this. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So this is the same Squishy DK base, and it is 100 grams, but it's split into 5 colorways. And it's just, I hope the colors are coming up. It's gorgeous. It's the My Jam collection. Jam on Toast, Strawberry Jumble, Inlet, Cape, and Poison Oak. So yeah, it's just like, yeah. So I'm thinking some really fun color shifting would be a blast with this. So but I'm not gonna open it because their sticker is too cute. And I know that I'll probably tear it when I open it. So I'm just gonna wait and open it when I'm ready. Plus it kind of keeps these from getting lost or jumbled in with the rest of my stash. So I'm gonna leave them in the bag. And they're gonna sit on my stash shelf over there. And then from Destination Yarn, which was this one, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. I grabbed this gorgeousness right here. Oh my word, I had to. But yeah, it's called Dragonstone. It's from their Game of Thrones collection. And anybody who's been following me for any length of time, or maybe just scrolling back through my archive, knows that I love Game of Thrones. So yeah, I had to get it because even though, never mind, I'm not gonna talk about the show. Sore subject. I can just, you know, I still love the series though, as long as I just forget the last couple of episodes and focus instead on this gorgeous yarn inspired by one of the most interesting looking places in the show. So, yep, I love their whole idea, like with Destination Yarns, you know, inspired by places and stuff like that. it's so fun and interesting, and they were really fun to talk to. So yes, this is going to be a fun project. I just need to make sure that I choose the right thing that'll use the high contrasting colors in the yarn to accentuate what I do with it. So yeah, I've got some ideas. And then last but not least, from Forbidden Fiber Company, which was this lovely skein here, I also got a skein from their Harry Potter collection, which is absolutely amazing. This one is Tonks. She is one of my favorite characters, and just so spunky and fun, and her hair is awesome. So you know, but yeah, I loved the different tones, and it just is a little bit different from what I normally go with. It's a little bit more subdued, but I thought that might make for a nice like scarf or something like that, where I could maybe pair it with more stuff, because I tend toward the bright colors. So yeah. That's a lot. I hadn't really. I posted about it on Instagram when I pulled out all my stash at the new house and everything, and kind of got things in order. But I hadn't really stopped to think about how much yarn I got. But like I said, I stayed under budget. Yay. I'm proud of myself. But I still got some really cool, like, I will, think about stitches and the people that I met when I'm working with these yarns. So I am really looking forward to starting my Soldotna, and then, whatever else these other skeins decide to become. So that's going to be really cool. Like I said, several of the dyers that I talked to gave me some goodies to be able to include in giveaways on the podcast here. So I guess I can go ahead and show them real quick. I had the dyers, or the, like the people like behind the brand, like in the booth, whether they're the dyer or not, whatever. I had them choose what they wanted to give for giveaways. So they walked around like, okay, I want to do that one. So that's really special. They chose for you guys to have some goodies. So yay. So yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. But anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking I will probably do a giveaway at 100 subscribers on YouTube. And then I'll look at my Instagram and see where I'm at there and choose a milestone for that. So I'm going to try to spread them out a little bit, because I don't want to do them all at one time. So kind of stretch it out and make it a little bit more of an ongoing kind of fun thing, instead of here, everything and then it's over. Build the suspense and the excitement, I think I'm going to go ahead and say bye, because if I don't, I will probably sit here and keep rambling at you, and then you're going to hate me and unsubscribe and not tell people to watch my podcast because I'm the weirdo who won't shut up. So, all right, like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. In the meantime, happy knitting!